Michael here. In
Crops.
2003, researchers
Fruit.
did the measurements and found that Kansas is in fact literally flatter than a pancake. Of course, the Earth is not flat, the Earth is round. Otherwise, travelers would be falling off the edge all the time. Right?
True.
Wrong.
That's what they do.
If the Earth was not a ball shape, but was instead a flat disc, like this plate.
This is old content too.
Well,
This guy's a
the right
legend.
density
9
and
years.
thickness, living in the middle could feel pretty normal. But as you moved toward the edge, gravity on a disk Earth would slightly skew, pushing at a greater and greater angle back toward the center. My friend Nick from Yeti Dynamics put together this great simulation.
It's
The
louder?
person and
Fuck.
buildings obviously aren't to scale, but check out how such increasingly diagonal gravity would work. Although this is a flat disk, it would feel to a runner headed toward the edge
I
like
think
they
I
were
tuned it
fighting
now.
to climb up a steeper and steeper hill. The building foundations behind the runner reflect how you would have to build structures closer and closer to the edge so that people living in them always felt like down was at right angles to the floor, the way we feel it on our big round Earth. Now, as you approach the edge, things would get scary. Remember, this is a flat Earth, but it would feel like a sheer drop-off. What's really cool is that contrary to the don't fall off the edge fear, on a flat world, because of gravity, the scary risk would actually be falling away from the edge and rolling all the way back to the center. Once you stepped over the edge,
man, this probably hurts their hearts, dude.
Into space, you'd be able to relax. It would be a nice, level place. This model, of course, neglects the fact that such a planet shape would be impossible.
Yeah.
Anything as massive
all the water
as the
would...
Earth, shaped like a flat disk, would, under its own gravity, naturally collapse back into a ball. This is why in outer space, everything more than a few hundred miles in diameter
is a circle.
Is round.
Yeah.
Or so we've been told. What if gravity isn't real? What if the Earth is in fact flat and science has been wrong all along?
And all the heavy shit's toward the middle.
It's a misconception that Christopher Columbus discovered
I don't know if that matters,
the
but it's
Earth
true.
Is round.
If you have Prime, you can get a year of Grubhub Plus free.
Virtually every scholar and major religion in the West accepted Earth's rotundity since at least the time of
What
the
the hell is
Greeks,
that,
who,
dude?
for instance, had noticed that
Why is
boats
it a
disappear
circle?
bottom first when sailing away, and as you walk north and south, stars pop into and out of view. The misconception that only a few hundred years ago lots and lots of people believed the Earth was flat.
Dude, I feel like most people back then didn't believe that. There's no fucking way. Right? I feel like it's just like a few people who had the book in the fucking pen and they were like, yeah, dude, the Earth's definitely flat. But like, you could logically think it through. Like, a logical person without the fucking voice of somebody back then could travel and realize there's a horizon, and then that stuff is... But they're not getting the voice. They're not getting the paper.
The modern
They're not letting them write the book.
Sort of insult.
There's no way you don't logically see that. I mean, it's like you're just sitting there for like, fuck, I don't know, 50 years was their lifetime. You're bored as shit, dude. You're bored as shit. I mean, you're literally just, I mean, you gotta be just looking out there and realizing like, oh, there goes Johnny. As he slowly fucking goes over the horizon. Why can't I see him no more?
So
right? I mean, like...
now? The smear was repeated and published so often it became accepted as historical fact. Flat earther became synonymous with anti-science. It might seem flat over short distances, but over longer ones...
They'd call you a witch and hang you.
The Earth is pretty darn curvy. The Verrazano Narrows Bridge connecting Staten Island
and again, they didn't
Brooklyn
even know
had to be
the
designed
U.S.
with
was
Earth's roundness
a continent
in mind.
To like the 1600s, right? So like... They didn't do much traveling.
Two towers, separated by 1,300 meters and perfectly vertical, are nonetheless 41 millimeters further apart at the top than at the bottom because of Earth's curvature. In the 3rd century BC, Eratosthenes measured the differences between shadows cast by poles in Syene and Alexandria to calculate.
That's so fucking cool. Look, you can see that thing right here. I don't know what it's called, but it's the thing. It is the thing. See it? thing that separated the continents is right there. Like the tectonic plates. It's fucking sick.
Cast by poles in Syene and Alexandria to calculate more than 2,000 years
Is that a real
before
photo?
rockets and space travel to
Is that a real photo? It's Google Earth. Okay. Remember the fucking thing where it's like, if you were to grab the Earth, it'd be as smooth as a cue ball, because the top of the Earth to like the bottom is only like a tiny percent.
between shadows cast by poles.
That's what it looks
Syene
flat as fuck,
and
but you can see there's like, I think there's like mountains here. There's barely, you can barely see. I don't even know what, like I don't even know where Mount Everest would be, to be honest. Like right here, right? No, that's Africa. Italy's right here. I don't know where that is. I literally couldn't even tell. I can't tell. Isn't the Himalayas right here? I don't know, dude. You're globe man. I'm Alex. I don't fucking know. But I mean, you'd think you'd be able to see that shit, but you can't.
Alexandria to
Crazy.
calculate more than 2,000 years before rockets and space travel the circumference of the entire globular Earth with, for the time, impressive accuracy. Word got around that the Earth was a round shape after that. But in 1906, Wilbur Glenn Villava became head of a slightly bizarre religious sect that pretty much ran the city of Zion, Illinois. Villava believed that the Earth was actually flat, and he enforced flat Earth.
Oh, wow. There's a patent. The spring scene 45. Dude, how does the diagram have a fucking circle if it's trying to prove the world's flat? I don't get it.
Teachings.
It's fucking
in
with my
schools
head.
in
It's a
Zion.
circle, man.
He also enforced that belief on really anyone who entered the city. Villava believed not only that the Earth was flat,
When you have to take a circle to explain that it's flat, you know that shit's not flat.
but
I'm
that the
saying,
sun
bro.
was only a few thousand miles away from Earth, not 93 million.
Oh,
He
I get,
also
no, man,
believed-
I get it.
Villava
I get it.
enforced flat.
So this is his theory, and this is their theory, and he's trying to debunk it by proving the 45-degree, 3,000-mile horizon. Yeah. So this is like a proof of concept. This is why I think it's flat. The North Pole. The ice rim is just like a fucking... This guy is delusional. This is why all the water stays in the fucking... It's like a bowl. It's like a plate.
Earth teachings in schools in Zion.
And the North Pole is literally a fucking triangle.
Enforced flat Earth teachings in schools in Zion. He also enforced that belief on really anyone who enters.
Actual path of plane. Oh no. Is this explaining this? Oh my god. You know, it all makes sense now, dude. The fucking plane, dude, the plane makes so much sense. Like, if the plane only flies fucking straight, then obviously it would go off. Obviously, dude. Like, duh. Like, my brain can't even make a joke out of this. Like, I'm getting confused. But it makes sense when I look at it, right? It makes sense. I mean, the plane goes straight. Like, if the Earth was round, it just wouldn't work. It would have to, like... And it doesn't. You just go
In
straight.
Zion.
You hold the fucking thing
He
straight.
also
I don't
enforced
know.
that belief on really anyone who entered the city. Villava believed not only that the Earth was flat, but that the
That's
sun
fucking with my head, dude. So does a plane actually go straight? Or does it get gravity? You just can't tell. That plane's way bigger. Like, if a real size plane, you wouldn't, dude, it would take hundreds of miles and you wouldn't even feel the incremental difference It means altitude? Up and down are relative? And altitude isn't, is what you're saying. Like, altitude's always the same, but you can go up and down. And it's relative to where you're at, right? Yeah, I mean, did they have longitude and latitude back then? I don't think they did. Actually, yeah, they did.
Lava believed not only...
Look, they got it. He has... Oh. So if you're at the North Pole, and you go... If you're at the North Pole and you go up, versus if you're at the South Pole, you're technically going down. Right? To gain altitude. Or the other way around, one of the two. You're at the South Pole. This is the North Pole. You go down, and then you go down. You'll go into the Earth, but if you're going up, and then you go up. So yeah, it is completely relative. Up for us is down for someone in Australia, yeah.
That the Earth was flat, but that the sun was only a few thousand miles away from Earth, not 93 million. He also believed that the sun was only 32 miles across, not 860,000. He sounds crazy.
But they had telescopes. They saw Mars.
See, the same phenomenon Eratosthenes measured could be explained by a flat Earth if the sun were only a few thousand miles away.
So you could use it as a reference point, like. But that's that far. But this is this big.
And 32 miles across.
Selective hearing
would work out the same. Today, with the power of the internet, modern-day flat earthers have picked up where the lava left off. They have quite good explanations for any evidence you throw at them that the Earth is round. Circumnavigation is really just a flat circle path. The round shadow Earth casts on the moon during a lunar eclipse could also be made by a flat disk. Time zones are caused by a spotlight sun. And remember how gravity would be totally different on a disc-shaped planet? Well, they argue that gravity as we know it simply doesn't exist. The flat disk of Earth is merely accelerating up at 9.8 meters per second.
Oh my God.
As for all of the photos and video evidence we now have that the Earth is round thanks to space exploration, well, all of that material is completely fabricated. A hoax perpetrated by Big Globe. Space agencies, airlines, globe manufacturers, they are reaping the rewards of our ignorant belief that the Earth is actually round. They know, of course, that it's flat, and they're hiding that truth from us. Is it merely a coincidence that the logo used by the Flat Earth Society is a projection of Earth centered on the North Pole and also happens to be the projection used by the United Nations?
Why should you become a fast staff travel nurse? Well,
it just looks cool. It has all the continents.
Are these people for real? Probably not.
It's a good logo, though.
But this is the crux of Poe's law. An adage that states that at their extremes, parody of extremism.
Dude, these people are dead serious. There's no way you like come home after work and you're just like pissed off because of shit.
And sincere extremism are difficult to distinguish. Although clever, flat Earth theories are predominantly ad hoc explanations.
This flat Earth does not spin. Australia not down under? Oh, the flat Earth, the center of the universe, bruh.
Excuses made up on the spot that only address one issue and don't fit all the evidence.
Say they even had constellations too, so that's even more that they could just debunk. They had constellations, they had boats. Yeah, dude, they had everything. They're still just fucking deluded. They had the eclipse. Dude, I mean, come on, dude. How much more proof do you fucking need? This is before technology, like boats, constellations, eclipses. I mean, this has always been happening. They're just not paying attention.
Science, of course, rejects a theory if a better one fits more of our observations. But why the egotistical obsession with our observations?
Plus,
a cosmic ray particle could use the very same scientific method we use and conclude that the Earth was in fact flat. You see, at speeds near the speed of light, time slows down and lengths contract. One way we know this is that unstable muons created in the upper atmosphere by the collision of cosmic rays with the atmosphere should
kind of weird to think about. Like in movies, they really showcase that concept of the speed of light messes with time. Like you don't age as fast as the people you used to like be with. Like they'll age way more. But like, dude, that's gonna be a reality probably.
Mostly decay before reaching Earth's surface, but yet we detect a lot of them down here because their crazy fast speed literally means that from our perspective, their physics runs according to a slower clock, and to them, the distance they have to cover to the surface during their short lives is, from their perspective, much, much shorter than it appears to us. If you were a cosmic ray proton traveling at 99.99999999991% the speed of light, Earth would appear to be only 17 meters thick in the direction you traveled. So Earth is
that's if it's
flat to them, but
yeah,
round to us. It is ball-shaped to some observers and flat to others. There doesn't appear to be a single most correctest in all circumstances answer.
Wouldn't that mean the whole universe is flat then?
Susan Hack
Not
compares
just
knowledge
Earth?
to
There's
a
no way.
crossword puzzle. New answers
whole universe
interweave
would be
with
that
old ones.
size.
They all reinforce one another. The clues are the questions we ask, and the way the answers fall into a predetermined grid, well, that's our confidence that we're on the right track.
Oh, and I guess the universe really is just a disc. If you think about it, it's like the Milky Way, and then like all the things. It's not a circle. It is just a flat plane.
But that doesn't mean that
we all
one day
orbit.
there will be a finished puzzle, a complete answer. Recall the New York Times' famous 1996 crossword puzzle that came out the day before the US election between Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. The clue for 39 across was pretty crazy. You seemed to need to be able to tell the future to answer it correctly. It simply said, lead story in tomorrow's newspaper. Blank elected. Well, that blank could be Clinton or Bob Dole. And who's to say which one until tomorrow? There's no way to know. But as it turned out, the answer was Clinton or Bob Dole. No matter which you wrote in, all the other clues fit. For instance, a black Halloween animal could either be a cat or a bat. Our knowledge about the outside world might
That puzzle on its own is genius. Holy shit.
be the same. A puzzle with no answer key, just the reassurance that the answers we think we know fit together, so they're probably correct, though there's always the possibility that the answer to one clue or all of them will fundamentally not have a single definite satisfying answer. The puzzle may be playable forever. I like what Richard Feynman says about this. Some people say, how can you live without knowing? I do not know what they mean. I always live without knowing.
The meaning of it all.
That is easy. How you get to know is what I want to know. You know? And as always, thanks for watching.